While farming is one of the most traditional professions and industries in the world, there are countless new factors that play into what a farmer must manage and overcome. Today's farmer needs tools to help navigate these uncertain waters. This often includes new technology.
Well, obviously, information technology continues to give us a lot more data. So this combining of all the information that's going to be coming at agribusiness managers and farm managers is going to be very important. Certainly, another piece of that information is going to be the financial management and how risk management tools actually integrate in impacting the financial standing of the business.
Farming for many years was more of an autonomous, I'm out on the farm doing what I like to do, kind of leave me alone and I'll be fine. We don't live in that world any longer because of markets, environmental regulations, the world in which we live, it's not an isolated world that it was a very short time ago. And again, to exist in that world today, to succeed in that world today, I think we need to develop many of the same business type skills that other businesses have used very successfully and are available at the very basic farm level. It's not the exclusive domain of a Fortune 500 company.
With expertise stemming from 3 generations of family farming and over 45 years of market knowledge and know-how, AgYield is an extremely powerful system for the individual farmer to aid in the development of their strategies.
AgYield is not only a software platform that brings in all the components of the operation from futures and options, crop insurance, your expenses, all your field level data, and helps you make decisions. But we also leverage that 45 years of experience that we had from growing up on a farm, from consulting brokers ourselves as a company. We take that amount of expertise and we give it to the grower. And we use that combined with a very powerful platform. We can help customize strategies that help prevent major risks and help increase revenue.
This team that put AgYield together, a very innovative team. They have a very good understanding of marketing and options and all kinds of marketing strategies. They seem to have a handle on risk management and remember the importance of the profitability side in farming. They seem to have a understanding of it from a farmer's point of view.
The AgYield program assists farmers with the development of their risk management strategies.
AgYield will show you your profit area at any point, and it'll show you your risk at any point, regardless of yield and regardless of price. So we look at AgYield for crop insurance decisions. We try to use crop insurance as a marketing tool as well, as long as we can see in AgYield where our risks are going to be and where our profits are going to be.
The importance of technology on the farm to help profitability and management for growers is rapidly changing nowadays with the advent of all the technology and planters and harvesting equipment, and bringing that back into what it means for, especially with our company, crop insurance and financial services. It's all starting to blend together, so it's really important for a grower to know where they stand in their business at all points in time throughout the growing season. So as you start in the winter months, preparing for what they may do during the summertime as far as planning goes, when to make those planning decisions, and then also following through the year on tracking those crops, and then moving into the fall as to how many bushels am I going to harvest at the end of the year, and how does that impact my operation? So is it just to cover input cost? Is it actually to maybe lock in profitability? What is that measurement that's in the best interest of the grower?
A farmer's banker is their closest advocate. Each year, farmers provide their financial data to their lender for loan reviews, feedback, and advice.
Today's farmers face much greater risk than what farmers in the past did. The volatility of the markets, the fluctuations that we see in yields, they just need more information. They've got to make better decisions based on financial data, on production data. The most successful farmer is going to be the better manager today. We think about my dad when he farmed, and he worked hard, and he farmed on a daily basis. He worked very hard at it. But in reality, today's successful farmer is going to be a better manager.
From a banking perspective and for tax purposes, it is important to fully understand the impact of the Farm Bill. Paul Neefer, an expert in the field, works with farmers and writes a blog on AgWeb called Farm CPA Today.
I think with the new Farm Bill implementing the Agricultural Risk Coverage, ARC, and the Price Loss Coverage, PLC, I think for those farmers, the products such as AgYield will incorporate a tool that will factor in a calculation of the ARC payment occurring on a real-time basis, and that would allow the farmer to go, okay, based on what the average price is so far during the marketing year, that data could then be incorporated into AgYield, and it would allow the farmer to know, okay, here's where we're at. I think farmers are now getting very used to the fact that what's called precision farming is occurring. Successful farmers understand to some degree that they need to take advantage of what I call precision reporting, precision accounting, get used to the fact that the more that they can make that real time and allows them to make better informed decisions on what they need to do, whether it's from a hedging standpoint or whether it's from, hey, I need to market my grain today. I know exactly how this is going to affect my balance sheet and my income statement by making this transaction. That's very important for our successful farmers out there. That's how AgYield can really help that farmer.
AgYield helps growers identify the best crop insurance policy or coverage for their operation. It recognizes when to sell grain, if and how they should hedge, and allows farmers to easily test their vendors' recommendations and eliminate emotion from an often emotional decision-making process.
Well, at any given time, there's millions of combinations that a grower can do to protect revenue or, protect risk. And so AgYield helps refine a lot of those choices down to a few manageable ones. So whether you're listening to your favorite professor on the internet or on a TV show, or your favorite broker, or you're just down at the coffee shop listening to some farmers talk about what they would do with their marketing, you can plug all those strategies into AgYield and find out, given your actual data, what's the right combination for you specifically.
We recognize that for our marketing decisions that we face, particularly when it comes to, say, to crops today, no one marketing tool works best every single year. There are some years in which doing nothing prior to harvest would have been the best thing you could do, and other years, the earlier that you sell, the better. We just don't know from year to year. But a tool like AgYield enables you to do some what-if scenarios, is by layering on levels of crop insurance, cash marketing, hedging, grain storage, a whole variety of different marketing tools, spreading things out. You can still get to a point at which you can identify what is your net price for that commodity relative to your cost of production. And that is key information, because then it starts to identify, where am I vulnerable? Perhaps I've got enough protection, all that I can effectively manage. Or does it point to the fact that, I am really vulnerable in this particular area? I thought I had more protection than I had. And a tool like AgYield is a product that helps us identify and, again, create a measure and an awareness of the kind of risk that we face.
AgYield helps farmers take back full control of their marketing and risk management strategies.
Now when we see these big ranges in the price of corn, the profitability levels ranges are just as great, and you don't really realize what those profitability levels are until you look at AgYield. It'll show you exactly where they could be potentially, or where they may be on the downside as well. Whenever we market and we put in what-if scenarios, whether it's futures or hedge-to-arrives or cash sales or options, whether buying or selling options, any of those you can put in the what-if scenarios, and it'll show you exactly where that will put you.
As technology becomes a mainstay in agriculture and the next generation of farmers begin to accept more responsibility, they need to quickly learn how to make good decisions. One way to do this is to identify strong educational tools, not only on the farm, but in the classroom.
We're in the age of information technology now, so that really does give the opportunity to bring a lot of information to decision making. One of the things I think struggle with in our students is we can give them the tools, they can learn about the tools, but what we want them to have also is the opportunity to test those tools, to try those tools out. That's where we're using AgYield as an opportunity for the students who have learned different risk management techniques to really test those out and to see what the implications are.
With AgYield, farmers can share their operational information with their service providers. By sharing access to a farmer's AgYield account, crop insurance agents, brokers, lenders, and grain originator agents know what fields, yields, and locations a farmer operates, and can make the best recommendations unique to the farmer's operation.
I think what any producer needs to recognize is that the relationship that he has with his lender and vice versa is truly a financial partnership. The borrower that comes to me on a regular basis shares information shares his marketing plan, what his risk management plan is, etc. It's just that much more in tune with his own operation. When he's in tune with his own operation, then he's probably more likely to be profitable, and he understands what his needs are, what his cost of production are, and what his marketing plan needs to be.
I'm very open to share any information I have with my lenders. So with AgYield, that opens the door to them to where I'm at any point, from a risk management point or from a profitability point. They can see that when they want to, and they know exactly where I'm at. I don't think it does any good to keep secrets from lenders. It doesn't do either one of us any good. So if I want to build a relationship with them and to have them back me up, if I do my own marketing where there's going to be margin calls, I want them on board with me and understand what I'm doing, and are fine with going along with my marketing plans.
All farm data entered into AgYield belongs to the farmer. It's their information, and they exclusively control who sees their AgYield account.
We think sharing information in AgYield is very important to the grower. We also respect the fact that their data is very private, and they should be able to share that data with whomever they like. Our history stems from Iowa Grain Company, and at Iowa Grain Company, we were actually the first order entry routing system electronically for the entire Chicago Board of Trade. And so at any given time, every order that was going electronically through the exchange was actually going through our software system. We maintained the highest level of integrity at that time, and we continue that on as we run AgYield. So we allow the grower to share their information a number of ways. They can connect to their vendors, giving access to their vendors to manage parts of their account for them. They can connect to their bankers, for instance, and share data so that when they go in for the loan approval process, it's much smoother. They can also print off PDF documents. They can send email files. So we try to keep it very flexible on how and who the grower can share that information, and overall becomes a much better experience for both the producer and his service providers.
In addition, AgYield recently launched a new interface, which allows for greater functionality, with more ways to analyze a farm's data, develop new strategies, and the ability for the farmer to immediately see the impact of each.
I think there's a couple key aspects that really set us apart from our competitors. One's the people. Like I said, I think we're uniquely positioned, given our background as farmers, as clearing firm, as IBs, and now as a software company. We're uniquely positioned to give the farmer what he's actually looking for. So besides the people, I think the platform is the most robust in the industry by far. You can automatically pull in your positions, you can test positions or hypothetical transactions before you ever have to pull the trigger. You can share your information with whoever you want, and you can really collaborate with all of your service providers to come up with a very tailor-made strategy for you.
Kevin Kennedy and his son Tyler are 6th and 7th generation farmers with over 140 years on their family's land in Illinois.
How do you position the next generation to be successful? To me, you have to teach them to look at all the resources that they have around them. I think AgYield is something that will become an intricate part of our operation, because I do not know of anything out there, anywhere, that is as complete a software program in tying everything together.
I believe AgYield is going to be an essential tool to use in our future, not only mine, but my brother's and mine, my father's and mine, for the whole family. I'm able to put a plan together before I go get my loan with the banks, and I have a profitability plan, and I show them I'm going to make money, and I can pretty much guarantee it with the AgYield program. I'll already be set up to succeed.
I think more and more that we recognize the industry has changed. And just the whole environment of the last 7 or 8 years is so different than it was 20 or 30 years ago, when we were encouraging our young people to leave the farm, go to college, get a good job, because you can't come back to the farm. We just don't have any room or opportunity for you here. And now we're moved into a world that, farming's been pretty good the last few years. There is some opportunity. And not only that, there are some ability to use some skills and tools, things you like to do. I need those on my farm. I need you to come back and use those in this operation. So it's more of a two-way street. Instead of trying to make room for a young person to come back, we are encouraging them to come back. We need them to come back. Our survival is going to be built on whether or not they come back, and we can utilize the tools and skills they can bring to our operations. And so I think that's an exciting time and an exciting place to be for agriculture today.
AgYield enables farmers to control their profitability like never before. For more information, visit www.agyield.com.